NFL Stadium in Indianapolis. For the call, we bring in our broadcasters, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision as he'll get this only back to the 20. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
On first down, it's Luck. Ebron with it over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Hey, easy, gun. All right, solo out there, check the outs out there. Check out,
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, and making sure they didn't get there.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
That was a terrific job by the defense, stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and 3rd overall pick.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On 1st down, Luck. Quick hitter here, it's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Vic Beasley in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. They're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
And they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, Tuesday. Face.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
First quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Luck to the right side to Eric Ebron. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They've got a 2nd down and 5 here to start things out. Now Mack, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Ryan to throw. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Preston Smith coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short, and that leads to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
1:52 left to play in this 2nd quarter. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Ryan on 1st down. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Throw right side caught by Ridley. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On second down, Freeman. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Falcons on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
21. 11.
From the shotgun, Ryan. Fighting his way through contact. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Our first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. And he puts it through. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
This is Freeman. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Ryan. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Hey, Tuesday.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Ryan. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
Ryan dancing to his left. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. He's got daylight. The 20. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. After the interception, it's Long. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. A nice little juke. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting the lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and a little more free in his play.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Room here to run. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. He got 29 yards that time. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the 2nd half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it.
Hey, wait.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Switch. Gun.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man, hand him the ball, and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Play action. It's Ryan. Sliding out of the pocket. Caught on the right side. Yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
3rd and 2, now Ryan. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Falcons are in for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Luck on 1st down. Caught left side by Hilton. T.Y. Hilton, nobody to beat. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the... When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this one is incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Ebron's got it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A good return there, 17 yards, and we have reached the 2-minute warning.
Hey, let's go.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Steps away to his left. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
He's going to get it running right. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. He's going to get it running right. Oh, good move. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Hey, 4 down.
Here's Smith. So an important try here from Matt Bryant. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And Bryant's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. Certainly they want to win this game, but down 3, they know what they need to do. Get in field goal range, at least have a chance to tie it.
And if you approach it the right way, you almost have a safety net. Knowing just a field goal gets it done. You don't press for the touchdown, but you take it if the opportunity comes. If the opening's there, someone slips in the secondary and you get a big play. But otherwise, get the 3. Put that on the board and try to extend the game.
Extra 3, of course, they'd love the score to win it.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
The Colts on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He's back to throw. And he connects with Ebron. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. Now he'll spike it here with 20 seconds to go on the clock. And that one drops to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. Back to throw. Ebron caught left side. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Good for a Colt first down. The former Lion Ebron there bringing it in from Andrew Luck. And they're able to spike it with time remaining. And now in field goal range here with a chance to get this one to OT. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And his kick here is good. And that will tie things at 17 all. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This will be taken in at the 1. Nifty move. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. On second down, Ryan. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. A Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Falcons, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.